Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Amir's podcast. I'm your host, Amir Ardabili. Thanks for being with us today. I have a very special guest today, a good friend of mine for a long time. He is a man that he spent his career standing between chaos and order, not on the screen or Hollywood or movies, but in a real life. And he served as a federal agent with the United States Homeland Security, and especially with the Homeland Security Investigations. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
This is Mr. Russell Ricali. Russell, good to have you, my friend. You're an awesome man. Thanks for being here. I know that you were a SWAT Team Leader in Tampa office for a long time.
That's right.
How long ago we met each other? We've known each other for quite some time right now.
It's got to be about over 10 years now, right?
More than that, because
years?
you retired 9 years ago.
That's right.
Now, you know, more than that. You
Well,
retired
were
in
there
2016.
when my daughter was born.
I
we
remember that.
We were friends for several years before that,
Yes.
so it has to be 15 years.
I know your older daughter, Zoe, was only 3 years old.
Right.
And I remember when the Sky was born.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have the pleasure of teaching the Sky. She's becoming one of my top fighters.
And she loves
But, but I'm not here to talk about Sky, even though I love her very much. But we want to talk about you and what you have done as a federal agent. Now, I've had the chance and opportunity to train with a lot of federal agents, FBI and Homeland Security, especially FBI agents. I've trained many of them. You remember Mr. Manny Perez? We talk about him.
Yes, you told me about him.
And unfortunately passed away. But originally I met him in 1992, and we started training together, and I started, through him, teaching a lot of law enforcement agents, especially FBI. And I was always mesmerized with the job and with the idea of and what they did. You know, the stories were amazing. Of course, he was a Vietnam vet, and then after that, he became a police officer. I remember the very first thing he told me when I met him. He says, "Amir, before I start training with you, I want to make sure you don't have any problem with cops." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, I'm a cop." I said, "Why would I have a problem with cops?" Some people don't like cops, but he didn't know that I absolutely love law enforcement, and I have a lot of respect for them. And that's, I think, one of the reasons you and I became good friends as part of it, because the amount of respect and love that I have for the law enforcement agents, because I know what you guys do and what's the sacrifices you make on a daily basis, whether you're on a regular, a local police officer or you're on a federal agent in any level. When you have your life in the palm of your hand at any given second, and it takes a person that, it takes a very special person to do what you guys do. So we thank you for your service.
Well, thank you, man.
I appreciate it. I also love the level of toughness you guys have, especially federal agents.
Well, you know a little bit about toughness, don't you?
I know a little. I know a little bit.
Picked up a few things over the years?
Yeah, a few people, a few things, but I still love what you guys do. And what you do requires a lot of discipline, a lot of mindset. It's not easy to be in a situation that you could be an inch away from losing your life, or having to take somebody's life because they're criminals. So for those audience and listeners who do not know the difference between a regular police officer and a federal agent, especially Homeland Security, if you could be kind enough to explain to that.
Well, Homeland Security was created right after 9/11 in around 2003, 2004.
I remember that. Yeah.
Right, and I was actually hired with U.S. Customs at the time, which was under Department of Treasury, and that became U.S. Department of Homeland Security, and I was hired under Homeland Security Investigations. So your question was the difference between a regular police officer and a federal agent. Well, first of all, it's the laws that they enforce. Regular police officer enforce local laws. Federal police officer, federal officers enforce federal law. Okay.
And the jurisdiction obviously is changed.
And the jurisdictions change, and sometimes there's overlap. So you might have a crime that is covered by state officers and is also covered by the federal government. If that gives you kind of a general idea.
Yeah, I understand. That makes sense. Now, I know Homeland Security agents and federal agents or U.S. Marshals that have jurisdiction all over the United States. Is that correct? It's not just to a specific state.
That's right.
So as a law enforcement agent, you're able to carry your firearms, and actually is a requirement.
Right.
If I may say that. Am I correct?
Yes. Each agency enforces different specific laws. Okay, for instance, the U.S. Marshals although their scope is limited in what they do on a daily basis, their jurisdiction is extremely wide, probably the widest in all law enforcement. So you'll see U.S. Marshals on many different task forces, but things are starting to change. With this current administration, there's a lot of interchange of agencies where they're working on task forces together for all different types of purposes, if that makes sense.
So let me ask you a question. Again, not to confuse people. I know when Homeland Security was created, Department of Homeland Security, based on my understanding at that time, and it was explained to me that Homeland Security was more like an umbrella, and over 100 some law enforcement agencies were under that umbrella. Is that true? Or maybe that was true at that time, but is not right now? Because I know FBI is very independent.
There's about 18 agencies under Homeland Security. To name a few of the noted ones would be U.S. Secret Service is under Homeland Security. Of
It
course.
is?
Yes, U.S.
Okay.
Secret Service is currently under Homeland Security. And so is the U.S. Coast Guard. I don't know if
Okay.
people know that.
Okay.
So drug interdictions, that's under Homeland Security. So there's
Okay.
a lot of overlapping jurisdiction. When you think of drugs, you think of DEA. Well, DEA and Homeland Security have overlapping jurisdictions, depending on whether the drugs are coming in or out of the country and things like that. Same thing with FBI. FBI was always the lead on counterterrorism and terrorism itself. Homeland Security is starting to pick up that role a lot more.
Yes.
With the new administration, as you see.
So
in the
both
news.
agencies have done both.
That's right.
Because I know that when I was working with, Mr. Prez and a few other agents at that time, a lot of things they did was, counterterrorism. They had specific departments that they did interviews with all the, Iranians or anybody comes from the Middle Eastern regions were being interviewed by the FBI, and I had to pay them. They paid me a visit when I came to the United States. Even though later on we became good friends and we started working together. But however, I remember that they showed up on my door, knock on the door. Are you Amir Ardabili? Yes. I said, what did I do? Take me. I was like, no. The guy started laughing and we started talking. But I understand that. Now, when you were in a SWAT team.
That's right. We called it a special response team.
In Homeland Security.
That's right.
You guys did a lot of anti-drug enforcement as well. Yours was counterterrorism, where you did.
It was a mixture. We did. Our purpose was to enforce the warrants that were created by other agents in the agencies, but they were varied. Drugs, gangs, a lot of child pornography warrants.
I remember that.
We did search warrants. We did arrest warrants. Some counterterrorism stuff we got involved in as well at the time.
At the time. Now, so.
And that was a few years ago. That
Does
was back
FBI and Department of Homeland Security ever collaborate together and work together?
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. And one of the things that I like what I'm seeing in the new administration is more collaboration. There seems to be a much more integrated approach. I like to say a task force approach, where you have locals and you have federal agencies and you have representatives from all these different agencies working together.
Well, that's great, yeah, because I don't like to see, problems and differences between I mean, there could be differences, but not, it used to be a chaos before. It was a while that, FBI was always after Homeland Security. Homeland Security talked bad about the FBI, and then it was a lot of.
That still goes on.
I'm sure that politics
still
goes on,
better.
but just the fact that the new administration is trying to bring it all together, and so they all could work together, it would be more successful that way.
That's how I see it.
U.S. Marshals, they're federal agents.
That's right.
Now, U.S. Marshals usually go after fugitives. Is that right?
Yeah, and that was actually one of my favorite things that I did in my law enforcement career, was being assigned to the U.S. Marshals Federal Regional Fugitive Task Force. And the purpose of that was to go after fugitives from all different federal agencies. So someone gets somebody indicted for a crime, that person takes off, and usually they were very violent criminals. So it's a very important job that's done by a small group of people in just about every city in the United States.
Does U.S. Marshal work under the supervision of Homeland Security, or they're independent?
No, they're separate.
They're separate.
They're under Department of Justice, I believe.
Department of Justice is the one. Okay, that's fine. That makes sense. Now, If you could tell me what CIA. Okay. CIA is not. You said they're not under Homeland Security. Department of Homeland
Completely different.
Completely different
Right.
pattern.
Although there's collaboration.
There are collaboration, but but are they considered law enforcement?
No,
They're not.
They are absolutely not. No.
Okay.
They are intelligence gatherers.
Okay.
They are considered an intel agency.
Okay. And NSA.
Same thing. Same thing. They concentrate more on signal intelligence, whereas the CIA centers more on human intelligence.
And I know they work very close, of course, counter-terrorist activities and a lot of international affairs and okay, all right. So now let me ask you a question. When it comes to protecting the president,
Okay?
Secret Services,
That's right.
are they law enforcement?
Yes, they are.
They are.
Absolutely.
Are they independent or they're under the?
They're under Homeland Security.
They're under Homeland
Yeah.
Security. Okay.
Yeah.
So they control. Now, who picks the person or the people, the team that protects the president? President doesn't have anything to do with that. They don't.
Well, I would imagine if you were on President Trump's detail and he didn't like you, you'd probably be gone.
You'd
pretty
be gone
quick.
and
So
get
I would
them.
say,
But normally,
right. Normally the agents are chosen, and you have a combination of permanent agents on the president's protective detail, and then you have a number of support agents that come constantly and rotate in and out of that detail. And that detail is, I don't know exactly, but I think it's a 2 or 3 year stint for the agents that are on the president's protective detail. What I used to do in State Department, I worked for State Department for 6 years back early in my career, was also protection. But our mission was to protect the Secretary of State and other distinguished guests. So we'd work with Secret Service constantly, same job, just different people that we're protecting.
I love that. I remember we had an event in Tampa. I mean, I know that you own a company named OnTech Services. I mean, iTech.
Yes, sir.
Is that correct? I remember you had an event. We had a guy who wrote a book. It was part of Trump's administration.
That's right.
We were providing security and detail for that event, and I had the honor and chance to work with you guys at that time. It was fun. Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't that much fun. I mean, we didn't get to hit anyone
we didn't
or
get to do
arrest
anything.
anybody, but at least being there, it felt good. Being around so many people and knowing that we were in charge of the security, and of course you were our captain. And so I enjoyed it. And now, when it comes to the state level, who runs the show? Now, in the state level, of course, you have the state police. We have state troopers. We have local police. But when it comes to protecting the governor,
I believe that's the state troopers.
State
in
troopers.
most states, I believe. Certain states have. I have to be honest with you. I'm not really sure here in Florida. I think that would be done by Florida Department of Law Enforcement.
yes, FDLA. Is that
I
really
believe
called?
so, FDLE.
Yeah.
But in other states, I believe it's the state troopers that do that work.
Yeah. I don't know if you know. You know about my background a little bit. You know that I did provide some security and detail protection for Governor Bush, which was a great honor for me because as an Iranian man, and a lot of people at that time, they were like questioning the situation because, Iran were on a bad list because of the terrorists. But for me to be able to be trusted with that responsibility, I was extremely honored that I could do that. And it was good times. And that's one of the reasons I could not go back to Iran because of some bastards.
Because of that?
Well, that and many other work that I've done here. Some of the Iranian terrorist cells that they were in Tampa Bay area, they reported us as spies and
That's
the people,
not good.
which is not correct because that's not the case. You know that. I love my country and I love my country of birth, Iran. And speaking of Iran, as you know, Iran is going through some hard times right now. Thousands of people being killed, been under the oppression of this regime of dictatorship, Islamist, fascist. I wish I could call them more names, but I don't want to be
Pretty
rude.
horrible.
Yeah, it's been terrible, and so Now, I don't want to, drag the conversation too much into politics, but we cannot help it. Right now, we're living at a time that is extremely sad, and I see a lot of my people, my friends, are dying, and the numbers are of over 12,000 people so far. So, President Trump made a promise over a week or 10 days ago that he's not going to leave the Iranian people alone, and he's going to, if they start killing more people, he's going to get involved. Well, at that time, we had over 200 and 300 people dead. Now we have over 12,000 people, and nothing's been done yet. Now, of course, in my opinion, I'm always thinking that attacking another country or going to overthrow the government is not a simple task. It requires a lot of planning, a lot of strategic, stuff that needs to be done. You can't just get up and, okay, hit this and hit that. You got to be able to have a backup plan. You got to be able to completely take them out so they cannot retaliate against the Americans around the region, because we have armed forces everywhere in all the Arabian countries, United Arab Emirates, and so I know that, but people are dying really badly in high numbers.
Something needs to happen.
And I'm hoping, I want to ask your opinion, because I know you and I have very similar opinions about many things when it comes to politics, not get into that deeply, but I wonder what your opinion is about what is happening, and do you think Trump will follow through with this?
I'm just waiting for the trigger to fall. I think he's going to follow through. I think it's just a matter of time. What that's going to look like, we don't know. I don't think it's going to be boots on the ground, though. I think it's going to be infrastructure.
No, and we don't want that either. We don't want. I mean, most Iranians. I don't want a full-fledged war. However, the United States military is so advanced that they could really take this to the next level without having to go to a bloody, war. We don't want that. However,
it seems like now's the time, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the regime is as weak as it could be right now. I mean, this regime right now, there are millions of people on the street right now chanting for the Reza Pahlavi, which was the prince of, the late Shah of Iran. And he's a very intelligent man, very, very educated, but he's been away from Iran for a long time. So some people are criticizing him because they say, well, we don't want him to go back. I say, you know what? Right now, what we have is so bad. It is so bad that there's no way anyone could say Reza Pahlavi is not a right choice, especially when somebody is as educated as he is. He speaks several languages, a lot of training. He was a pilot. He actually has been studying and preparing for this moment to be able to lead the people, because you could have a revolution, you could have a lot of uprising, but if there's no leader, if there's no one to lead you, no one to unify you and put you together, you won't be able to win that revolution. Right. Especially Iran, when people don't have firearms. People don't have guns. They're taking the fist to the gunfight, which is not going to turn out good. And look at how many people are dead. Eventually, they will succeed, in my opinion. And I think Iranian people are very resilient, and they're some of the most educated. And I'm not saying that because they're my people. You have had a lot of interaction with the Iranians. So we're not Iraq. No disrespect to my Iraqi friends, but we are not Iraq. We're not an Islamic country.
Well, I think shining a light on the way it was back in the 70s it was like here.
Exactly.
It was like here. It was Western.
Yeah. And people still want that.
Happy.
Well, Iranian people want to be free. They're asking for democracy. They're asking for some of the most basic rights that they need to have. It's not something that is granted. It's something that is taken. Democracy is something that you take. You should have. You should not have to be granted. It's not a price that somebody's going to give you. We already paid a huge price for that with our blood. Look at how many people are dead. So right now, it's like being in the middle of the ocean and you want to just grab anything that you can to save your life.
Of course.
But I believe, I've lived in the United States for most of my life, 41 years I've been here. I still love my old country, where I come from. I still love my people, my culture, where I come from, the language, the poetry. It's such a beautiful country.
Would there be an opportunity for you to go back there if things change?
Absolutely. I would love to go back and visit. Not as long as these assholes are in power.
Right.
This Ayatollahs, I haven't been able to go back for the last 31 years.
Wow.
I was told not to show up.
You still have relatives there?
I mean, my immediate family is here in the United States, but I still have cousins, friends, and my childhood friends are all there. And so there's a lot of, there's a lot of stuff, with the social media and the Facebook and Instagram and the stuff that's going on. Also, every day we try to post and show our, be the voice for them as much as we can. But they're doing the real battle. They're the one who actually are getting shot. We could sit here right now under the nice, cool air-conditioned room and talk about Iran. Yeah, it's not our fault that we're here, but it's not their fault.
We're so far from it. It's hard for us to really feel it.
But at least we could be the voice. At least we could support them. At least I love the fact that I have an American friend like you, come from a law enforcement background, that you're very patriotic. I know the love you have for your country. But I still love to hear people like you who support us and support Iranians, support the cause, and get rid of these ayatollahs.
There's a lot of people like me that support that cause.
Yeah. This.
I don't understand why it's not getting the coverage it deserves on national TV. That's
why?
what I don't understand.
Because it doesn't fit their narratives.
It's crazy.
Simple as that.
It's just crazy.
I mean, the liberal media, they're never going to show it. If it was about Palestine, they would be all over the place. If you notice right now, all the human rights activists, they shut up.
Not a word.
You don't hear one word coming out of these assholes. Excuse me for being rude, but these days I don't want to be polite about this shit.
You can't.
You
got to call it what it is.
These people are so quiet. We even have some Iranian political analysts that live in Tampa Bay area, and they shut their mouth too. They're not around. They're not coming in front of the camera. And I'm glad they are. I'm glad they're not, because at least now it's proven to people who they are and what they stand for. And they're in alignment right now with the Iranian regime. Simple as that. We knew they were before, but now this is a proof. And some of these people live in this country. They're taking advantage of democracy that the United States gives them. They take advantage of this beautiful system that we have and everything that we have. But then they talk shit about it all they want, all day long.
Talking out of two sides.
And they're protecting the ayatollahs, And every time we talk about this, some of these people start talking and trash on Facebook or I got a bunch of dirty messages, which I could care less. I didn't come to the United States to be afraid of these assholes. They know where I am. They could face me. This is not a threat or anything like that. But I welcome any of these people. I dare them trying to do anything stupid in this country, But you can never be too careful, because they could still do things.
Absolutely.
Look at what happened with September 11.
Absolutely.
Look at what happened with some of the mass shootings that were done by terrorist activities.
There's a lot of very respectful people out there that believe we're in for another 9/11.
Well,
and they've been doing this work their whole lives. They know what the intel is. They know what's out there. It's scary times.
They have enough intelligent information. They have enough information that they could kick every one of these guys out. They could take him out. I don't know what they don't do it. I don't know why. I don't know what their strategy is. I don't understand the game. One thing I know for sure, Trump is not going to sit quietly. That's what I'm hoping for. And I hope that, and again, a lot of my Iranian friends that they think the way I think, none of us want a full-fledged war against our people. But I don't think I am for sure Trump and Trump administration Americans, they don't want that war either. Nobody wants to go to a war with people. They know that people are good people. It's just the government. But I'm telling you, the Iranian government, the Iranian regime is a snake. You need to cut the head of the snake.
They've been attacking our soldiers for years.
For years. Well, they have supported every terrorist organization. Now, we didn't get here by accident either. The U.S. foreign policy has been pretty bad.
You've explained this to me before.
Well, I explained it to you before, because anyone who knows anything about a little bit about history, and anyone who's done a little bit of studying and research, they know that we are where we are with the Ayatollahs because of Jimmy Carter, because of the Democrats and Jimmy Carter and their stupid foreign policies they had. So right now, that's why I believe, and don't take this in the wrong way, that's why I believe the United States government the United States of America. You put us in there, save us from there.
Right.
Okay? You owe it to the humanity. If you real truly stand for the human rights, it's time for the U.S. government and the American people understand why we are where we are.
What was their reasoning to
The
bring
reasoning
Ayatollahs
was,
back?
I mean, to make it, short, because we don't have that much time, is that the Shah, when it started talking about being more independent when it came to the price of oil, trying to take his country, Iran, to the make it more modern. And I mean, Shah was a very, very good ally for the United States for many years. But all he wanted, he said, okay, wait a minute. You guys could raise your prices and everything you do and you sell us in the United States, but you tell us not to raise our price. Mm-hmm. We want to be able to have a say-so in our country, mm-hmm. in our destination, in our future. And that didn't go very well with CIA. It didn't go very well with Jimmy Carter. And what they do, just because, and again, in the same time, he wanted to be independent, and he still wanted to do business. He still wanted to be in good relationship with the United States, but they saw that as a threat, and that's when they started, plotting this whole entire coup d'état, which that was not a revolution. That was truly a coup d'état against Shah. Mm-hmm. That was designed, by the CIA and the West, whether they like to believe it or not. I mean, all you have to just go study the history, then is a true statement. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I love America. I love what America stands for. I mean, I have both flags here. Mm-hmm. This is where I come from. This is where I am. I love them both. I respect them both. Nobody's perfect. We have made mistakes. We have made mistakes. History has made mistakes, but it's time to correct this. It's time to and go and help this. It's time to go and help Iranian people to save them from this Ayatollahs and this regime.
Do you see a particular path to what that should look like? Do you think it should be bombings? Do you think it should be money? Do you think
they have enough? They already done enough, sanctioning. Mm-hmm. But sanctioning only hurts people. Right. They need to go and freeze all these bank accounts that this assholes has opened up in every country. And then they just took $1.5 billion, Khamenei's son, to Dubai. The United States has the power, and he has the power over all these countries. They need to freeze their accounts. They need to freeze and they take the money away. Then number one. Number two, they know where they are. Mm-hmm. They have enough intelligence in Iran. They could target these people precisely and take them out.
Do you think Israel's going to play a role in this?
Absolutely. Israel has already. I mean,
in the future,
Yeah. I mean,
because that's another.
It could happen.
Yeah.
It could happen. I just want to see a solution. I want to see my people to be free. I want them to have a life like you and I have, and but we want to do it correctly. We want to do it in a way that is not going to harm more people. I know it's going to be always some casualty no matter what. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a price to pay for this freedom. But look we already lost over 12,000 people or more. So we cannot let this end right here.
Absolutely.
We got to go and finish it. Anyway, I'm sorry that I pulled you into the politics. I promised when I started my podcast I'm not going to talk too much about politics, but right now we're at a time.
You know how much I enjoy talking to you about
I know, but this is a sad time right now, right. And I had to show my support for my Iranian friends in Iran and my country of birth. But my friend, I love you. Thanks for your friendship and loyalty. It's been many great years, and I hope we have many great years together, still train together, and I'm honored to be training your children now. And until next time, guys, please go on YouTube and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day. And may God bless the Iranian people and Iran, and God bless the United States of America. And let's unite together and fight these bastards. Thank you.
Thank you.